We're on a bit of a hunt for treasures. Charnwood Forest Geopark here in Leicestershire is one of the East Midlands' most ancient regions, full of hidden gems, architecture, geology, all the rest of it. Well, they're launching a thing called the 100 Treasures Project, and it's asking residents and visitors to nominate their favourite local treasures. Jack Matthews is from Geopark and joins us now. Hey, Jack.
Hey there, lovely to be back on the show.
Oh, it's great to have you on. Look, first of all, let's just reset. Tell us what the Geopark is.
Yeah, so Charnwood Forest Geopark is a National Lottery Heritage Fund supported project bringing partners from around the county together to celebrate and conserve Charnwood Forest. We know that this region is really special for so many reasons, and it needs the prominence. It deserves a greater stature. So we're here with education programs and new interpretation and training for local groups and all sorts of other things which people can find out about at charnwoodforest.org. But today's project, the 100 Treasures, is all about making sure we look at the ways that Charnwood Forest is special from different perspectives. So we want people's help to recognise the things that they think should be celebrated. OK, so
let's talk about that in a second. What is it that makes Charnwood special? Not unreasonable. Plenty of people listening to this thinking, well, my area is lovely. Why aren't you doing it with me? What is it about Charnwood?
So the reason why we call ourselves a geopark, and our hope is that in the coming years we'll apply to become a UNESCO Global Geopark, is because we are home to some of the oldest animal fossils in the world. So people might be aware that in the 1950s, a very important fossil named after Charnwood Forest, named Charnia, was discovered by two school children, and that went on to change scientists' view of how evolution worked, because it was the first ever fossil conclusively found from the geological period known as the Precambrian. And many other fossils have gone on to be named since, named after many local places. So Bradgate Park has a fossil named after it called Bragatia that was first found there and is now also known from Canada and Australia.
It's an amazing thing. We are lucky to have it on our patch. So talk us through this. I love this engagement with people saying, well, what do you treasure? What do you find special? So you're looking for 100 treasures. How's this going to happen?
Absolutely. So on our website, charnwoodforest.org/100 treasures, people can nominate the treasures of Charnwood Forest that are important to them. And we've used the word treasures because we want to keep this as broad as possible. So it might be a really interesting old building or a beautiful natural site where there's a fantastic view. It could be a piece of biodiversity, a really nice ancient oak tree from Charnwood Forest, or a particular bird or lichen or something like that that's found in Charnwood Forest. Or it could be an ancient document, a rock, a mineral, a fossil. How you want to interpret that word treasure is up to you. But we want to make sure that Charnwood Forest is celebrated not just for its geology, but for all the many things that make it special. And we want to make sure that we know about all those special things. You know, people may be aware of the famous fossils, very important places like Bradgate Park with the fabulous ruins and the deer park there, and Bow Manor Hall and so many other fantastic bits of heritage. But what we've already found out from this project is there's so much more when we dig a bit deeper and we engage the local community. There's all sorts of fabulous stories, and we want to make sure that Charnwood Forest Geopark celebrates that.
Have you come across anything so far that has surprised you, or you thought, I never thought of that?
Well, I think that from a personal perspective, the nomination that I have enjoyed most so far was a local person very interested in birds, a local ornithologist, who has nominated a very particular bird that was caught and had its ring done to monitor it for biodiversity purposes. And that was able to show that Charnwood Forest was home to the oldest nuthatch, a particular type of bird, the oldest nuthatch that is known from the United Kingdom. So I thought that was a fabulous example of a different perspective.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. And what will you do with this at the end of it all?
So we're going to bring all of those nominations together, and we've appointed an expert panel from all sorts of fabulous groups like Historic England and the Wildlife Trust, and the local universities are all getting involved. And they are going to decide from all of the nominations what are the conclusive 100 treasures of Charnwood Forest. And then we'll be publicising that on the website, and we hope to have a series of exhibitions as well where we can celebrate the 100 treasures of Charnwood Forest and their connection to local people who have nominated them. So, for example, we've had a nomination already for the Rothley Anglo-Saxon Cross from Elizabeth Tingle. We've had a nomination for Cornham Woodhouse Station on the Great Central Railway from Jack Arthur Shaw, who's the station master there. And Anstey's Packhorse Bridge was nominated by Sue Bicknell. And we want to bring their stories about why it's important to them forward as well. And, we'd love to come back on the show as well, Ben, to celebrate the conclusive 100.
Jack, you are welcome on any time. How will people find the details if they want to nominate?
Yes, so to get your nominations in, you've got until April the 30th, and you can go on charnwoodforest.org/100 treasures, and that's 100 spelled out as a number.
So if you put in Charnwood Forest 100 treasures, you'll be able to find your website. Listen, the very best of luck, Jack. Come on and tell us all about it in a couple of weeks' time.
Thanks so much, Ben.
Cheers, thank you. There you are, Jack Matthews from the Charnwood Forest Geopark. I went out with him last summer sometime to a quarry near Shepshed where you could see the vast swathe of time shown through the rocks there. It was amazing, actually. Anyway, we'll catch up with Jack in the Geopark in the coming weeks. You're listening to BBC Radio Leicester.